It was a dark and stormy night. It came without question, without desire, without a need. It hit, scattering the minds of millions. The purge of this century, and at the snap of my fingers, instantly, thousands fall. The purge. On August 14th, 2018, Twitter, from their Twitter safety account, tweeted, "This week we are suspending accounts for attempting to evade an account suspension. These accounts were previously suspended for abusive behavior or evading a previous suspension and are not allowed to continue using Twitter." Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Twitter. It's not like 90% of the accounts that get suspended were false suspensions. I mean, just last week you guys suspended my friend Twip for threatening to kill me, even though it's quite clearly a joke if you spend like 1 second to look at the context. Now, me personally, I would not mind losing my Twitter account. If it happened, I guess it would suck. But I mean, what do you use Twitter for? You use it to communicate with your fans and talk to your friends. Well, I can communicate with my fans in my YouTube community tab, which gets more audience retention than my Twitter, and I can talk to my friends in Discord. So if I lost my Twitter, really nothing of value would be lost. However, that's just me. Most of my friends, on the other hand, are in situations where Twitter is their only point of access to talking to friends. They can't download Discord because parents are restrictive or they don't have the equipment to run certain apps. So when this news came out that Twitter is going to be suspending a lot of accounts, and my friends happen to have a lot of accounts that were falsely suspended in the past, guess what? Everyone kind of lost their mind. Now, me being the good guy that I am, decided to look for a solution to this problem, a solution to the Twitter crisis, a different website that acted like Twitter that we could use to talk to people like Twitter. Well, guess what? Fear no more, because we have Gab.com to suit our needs. Now, I was on Twitch the other day, which you should totally follow, by the way. Now, on the stream, we were looking for other websites that could compete with Twitter. And I happen to remember that Tommy C recently made a Gab account and tweeted about it. And I was like, oh, we'll just use that account. What's it called? Grape or something? Oh, Gab, there it is. All right, let's make my account. Oh, look, Gab is great. I love Gab. Oh, I love Gab. Gab is the best website of all time. So I made my Gab account. We looked at the website, looked pretty cool. I ended the stream. I went to play some video games, and then I went to bed. Then I woke up the next day, and my friend David was texting me, and he was like, Augie, you should delete your Gab account. And I'm like, well, why am I going to delete my Gab account? Now, normally when my friends tell me to do something, it's for a pretty good reason, so I knew he wasn't messing around and that there was a pretty good reason why I should delete my Gab account. Well, he told me that he decided to take a look at the promoted tab and see what Gab's all about. I mean, after all, this is a social media platform that prides himself on protecting freedom of speech. They host creators like Sargon of Akkad, who were removed from Twitter for violating the TOS when all he was doing was stating his mind and his controversial but fair political opinions. So of course, Gab is our best friend. Gab is the social media messiah, you know? Well, it turns out that Gab ain't so pure and innocent as they would like you to believe. Just take a look at their promoted tab, which acts similarly to Twitter's Twitter Moments. You can see that Gab, promoting some pretty crazy stuff. Now, I took a look at the tab and I realized, whoa, this is not the website that I thought. You see, Twitter is politically leaned towards the left, and so they're going to side with a lot of those opinions and promote those opinions and try and silence people with opposing viewpoints. As we can see, a lot of YouTubers who have opposing viewpoints get suspended. Well, Gab is no different, except instead of being politically leaned to the left, they're politically leaned to the right. And I know that's left and right is different for me to use. Shut up. Immediately I realized, oh boy, there is a wealth of riches to look at on Gab. So instead of deleting my account, I decided to keep it and look through some of Gab's greatest hits. Nah, I'm just kidding. I didn't look through that stuff. I had my friend David do it for me. Since he's the one who informed me about how alt-right and racist Gab really is, I decided to ask him to shoot me some of Gab's greatest hits from the promoted tab that are really controversial, really edgy, and I thought we'd sit back, look at them, and have a laugh, because I knew looking at this stuff, I couldn't just keep it all to myself. I had to share it with my YouTube audience, even though I'll probably get demonetized, but what are you gonna do?
And you know it like a poet, like baby doll. I bet she tried to say she gave me her all. She played ball.
So here's our first post that David decided to subject me to. You know what the worst part of looking at this is? Is that you can see I have an account up there. So I have an account. I'm looking at this. It looks it looks so bad. Well, let's buckle down and read this. To everyone I just followed back, I mute Q-tards? What the frick is a Q-tard? Like, what the frick does that even mean? People that post graphic porn. I report porn posters and actively hate the retarded of any race. I hate them, particularly stupid white people. I have no problem punching right if the person is stupid. I believe women have no place in politics. Jeez, this is so bad. Particularly if they are also stupid. Wait, so he believes women have no place in politics, particularly if they're stupid. So even if they're not stupid, they still don't have a place. If this is the first thing he sent, the fact that this is the first thing he said just tells you everything. It's so bad. Jeez. Oh, his name, Tidy Whitey, with his at Tidy. Well, that was pretty bad. Let's take a look at some more. Alright, so here we have something from Alan Edward. Alright, his name's normal. He's not Tidy Whitey, alright? So he seems to be a pretty normal dude, alright? He posted a meme, alright? This is alright. You know, maybe he's a bit of a normie, but you know, I don't have a problem with that. Let's read this. Isn't it odd that the most intolerant people in the world demand complete tolerance of their intolerance? Alright, little, you know, one of those like typical like meme quote inspirational things. It's all right. I can live with this. Islamic integration should be what? Jeez, he went from like 0 to 10 so fast. Islamic immigration should be banned in Western. Like and share viewing. What the frick? What am I looking at? Jeez, there's just no build up. It's just like It's just like, here's something that'll make you think for a bit. Islamic immigration should be. It's like, what am I? AIDS. Oh, and the comments are even worse. They're agreeing with them and adding their own weird points. This really is the social media for the alt-right. I almost feel like I should be in incognito mode for this because I feel like I'm gonna be on some sort of watch list just looking at this crap. Well, I guess we have to look at some more. Like, guys, I know, like, it's like a funny meme that YouTubers will say. It's like, I really didn't want to make this video. I really don't want to look at more of these. This is so bad. Well, I'll see you guys in a second here. So here we have another one from Ian. His at is flibbled-dibble. So, you know, I mean, I would say, oh, this looks pretty innocent or something on first glance, but we all know this is Gab, all right? And David's picked this out. He's gonna subject me through the worst of this. Anyway, he says, so a trans man won the Democratic primary in Vermont. Things won't end well putting them mentally ill in office. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, right? Like, at least with this one, there's some sort, I can understand where he's coming from, right? Like, he's saying, like, trans are mentally ill, which they are. I mean, I have a trans friend. He'll tell you, like, we're mentally ill. Like, it's not something, like, to be proud. It is a mental illness, you know? But, I mean, I feel like the correlation, it's like, they're mentally ill in the sense that they want to become a different gender, but what does that have to do with running office? Like, I feel like, I just don't see the correlation here. It's just, I mean, I feel like in all the Gab posts that I've been sent, this is probably the best one, which is saying a lot. Oh, jeez. All right, let's look at the next one. Oh boy, here's another one. This is from Eric Stryker. Stryker, huh? I feel like this guy and Mundane Matt would be good friends. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, he says the Catholic pedophile scandal is nearly Catholic nor technically pedo. What? This is a problem of homosexuals infiltrating the church. What? What's the correlation with the purpose of grooming 12 to what? Jeez, this is about queers and the fact that they no longer fear social legal. What is this guy on about? He sounds like Alex Jones. Like, I don't think Alex Jones makes points this crazy. It's just the way he words stuff. It's like he has this weird point and he wants you to agree with him, but he explains it in the worst way possible. Here, you know what? I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here and say, here's my controversial opinion on the Catholic pedophile problem. How about we have the priests who rape the kids be responsible and be considered pedophiles because they raped kids? In fact, forget the whole Catholic thing. How about we make any pedophile responsible if they rape a kid and legally accountable? A crazy thought, I know, but I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there, alright? Jeez. Well, guys, I'm afraid that's gonna be it for our journey on Gab. You can see that this social media website is definitely a lot more interesting than Twitter. I mean, with Twitter and Instagram and all of them, really, you know what to expect when you log on the website. With this, it's a whole other can of worms. And to be honest with you guys, as disgusted as I was reading a lot of that, I'm not gonna lie, if this video does perform well and you guys really like, even if it doesn't perform well, if it's like a cult classic of the channel, like people really enjoyed this, I might go back and look at some more stuff, because I have a feeling we only just scratched the surface of the Gab lore, you know what I'm saying? In conclusion though, guys, follow me on Gab. It's Gab.ai/AugieRFC. Ha!
That's all, folks.
Now, but seriously, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what button to press. Subscribe if you're new. Shoutouts to my monthly supporters. That is Solid Sync, Tipster Gaming, and Real X8. If you guys want to get your names on the shoutout list at the end of every video, then you can either sub to me on Twitch or become a member on YouTube, and you will get your name shouted out at the end of every video, along with a lot of other perks. I'll just throw them up the screen right here. Thank you so much for David. His Twitter is @PyroCynical, not Pyrocynical, @PyroCynicalTV. He picked out the worst of Gab for me so that I wouldn't have to, and I could get my my reactions kind of raw. You know, I wouldn't know what I'm up against. This is all entirely raw on the camera. Thank you so much for subscribing me through that horror. That's gonna be it for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow on our live podcast, RFC Live, broadcasted on this YouTube channel. Unless we get a strike for this video. I don't know if I show anything too edgy for YouTube, but at the very latest, I hope you guys did enjoy delving into the alt-right. I will see you guys.
My thoughts are like a bright symphony. I'm simply changing everything that I begin to see mentally. But physically, I plan to change history with a pen, notepad, and a distant dream. But distance ain't an obstacle, that's too much.